Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is James on a Hill, and here we talk about my favorite games and books and the worlds that I like to immerse myself into in a positive way. And today's video is going to be about this book set here. This book set is an Alan Lee illustrated um, Lord of the Rings book set. We've got the four books in it. We've got The Hobbit, The Fellowship, Two Towers, and The Return of the King. And I'm going to be taking these out in a moment if we use to look at, but um, first of all, I want to tell you where I got the book set. I got the book set as a gift from my wife 3 years ago, and I was over the moon when she got me it. And she got me this, and she actually also got me a book, another book, Silmarillion. I'll find it here for you. There she is. So this wee uh, version of the Silmarillion, and I must say before I get into this, the Silmarillion edition is actually my favorite edition of the Silmarillion. Even though I've got the Alan Lee illustrated version, I don't know what it is about this. It's just so cool. Hold on, I'll clip this on here and I'll show you quickly. So, like, look at the pages. They're just so like, I don't know, like you bend and then it just goes perfect again. It's like one of these like old books that the quality of the pages are just sort of really like um good, and like you can sort of see the pages like they're quite yellow and sort of they've aged. I don't know, it has sentimental value to it. Before, I haven't actually read the Silmarillion using with this book. I've read the Alan Lee version, and I've read um the one of the newer editions that I got in Waterstone like about 5 years ago. Um, but I don't know, like there's so much value in that. You can just tell that that's been sort of looked after. It's got memories, you know. So my next read through the Silmarillion, I probably will read this anyway. I'll put that aside. I think that's before. I think that's a 1970 edition. Let me double check if anybody's interested in that. 1979. There you go. But anyway, we're here to talk about this. So I'm gonna show you the outside. If you can see this. Bear with me. No. That's the front side. That's the back. And then that's the other side. So some really good illustrations already. There's the top. And then there's the bottom. Oh, if you can see that. 120 sterling. And it was worth every penny. So let's look at the first one. There's the Hobbit. And that's the side. Back. The pages are sort of really, that's what the sort of font looks like. And it's got this like sort of dark green font on the heading, which is really nice. I think all the different books have different color fonts for the headings. I must check that actually. But what I love about the Alan Lee editions, at the start of most chapters, it has a sketch, and some of the sketches are just really cool. And then some of the pages have full on illustrations. Let's take this one for example. So that's obviously whenever, this is in The Hobbit, whenever all the dwarves show up at Bilbo's. Very good. Um, yeah, I just absolutely geek out on this stuff. Absolutely love it. So that's The Hobbit, and then we've got Fellowship of the Ring. Um, I really like this cover because it's very like autumnal. That is Rivendell. That's Alan Lee's version of Rivendell. It's so good. I love it. And then that's the side. I also love the gold font there as well. Makes it sort of pop out. There's the scene with the trolls from that Bilbo turned, or the Gandalf. Sorry, Gandalf turned. And yeah, I was right. So the heading font on this is red. Pretty cool. And as I said, the pages are like real white, but they're real thick. Like, I don't know, like they're not flimsy. Let's see if we'll find some illustrations in this one. Yeah, I just came across the Rivendell one again. Bear with me. There's a good one there. There's one of the ringwraiths on the horses. So good, love it. Then we got the two towers. We've got Shelob there. So as for the book fans compared to the film fans, Shelob's is in the two towers. That whole scene happens in the two towers. There's the flooding of Isengard. A profile as well, brilliant. Font on this one's red. Yeah, and let's find some illustrations from this one. There we are. Some good stuff. And then moving on to the last one, which is the chunkiest one, and that's the Pelennor Fields. So some great illustrations. I love the green in this. I don't know, it just pops out there. And then we've got the side profile and back, and that is I actually don't know what that is. Again, like at the front of every map, front of every book, there's a map, which is great. And then let's see, there's a wee photo from the Return of the King one as well. So that's pretty much it. Let me see what year this edition is. I think it was 2021. Alan Lee's illustrations are 1991, and the illustrated hardback edition is 2020. So interesting stuff. Very, very good. So if you haven't got this set, guys, I would highly recommend purchasing it, putting it in your book collection. Chunky, it's worth it, and just sits perfectly. And the thing about it is, it's a real pleasure to read these books. They're it's not like the other books. For those that don't know, Alan Lee was actually one of the main artists on the Peter Jackson adaptations as well. So there's a lot of similarities between the art within these books and the films. If that's something that you enjoy. Um, I know if you've seen the films and you go to read the books and you go to see or you go look at art, you want to see the sort of similarities between the films and the art within the books, and anything that isn't similar can be a wee bit sort of off-putting, or maybe you think to yourself going, oh, that's not the same as what I imagined or whatever. But another great artist as well is Ted Nesmith. I think I'm pronouncing that second name right. Naismith. He's a fantastic artist, and it was like whenever I started looking at his art early, um, in collecting Tolkien, I wasn't a big fan of his art, and then the more I read Tolkien's work, the more I actually grew to appreciate Ted's art because it was very similar to what is described within the books, and it's just a different adaptation as well. So I'm going to be going through some more Tolkien books that I have in my collection, folks. And if you enjoy this content and you want to see more, please hit a like, comment, and subscribe. I do more videos. I'm going to be doing more videos like this, and I talk about games and books and immersion and stuff. You've heard it. So, with that being said, thank you. All the best. Have a great day, folks. Bye.